Okay, we should be live right now. Well, it's been a while since I've done this, a year to be exactly, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. If you're not familiar with it, this is Advent of Code. Advent of Code is a yearly um, coding challenge where for 25 days in December, every day we get a two-part challenge that we can solve in code. And I like to live stream them. I hope to finish the entire 25 days. Usually it gets really tough when you get the first 10, 15 out of the way. So we'll see how it works and if I have time to do them all. But yeah, I always look forward to this time of the year to do these challenges. So I'm just gonna go start ahead and read the challenge and start coding it. I already prepared um, a solution like I do every year. I have a helper function. So basically I have a day solution that I make that's two parts. It inherits from solution, which retrieves the challenge input based on which day it is. So I've coded that a while ago, it really helps. And I have some extensions to help with the various bits of parsing that you always need to do, just to save some time and not code the same things every time. So yeah, let me see. So yeah, and let me drop the link in chat. I actually need to pull up the chat. I could probably pop this one out. Yes. So let me drop the Advent of Code link and I can pin that one. So that if you want to do it yourself, you can do the challenges as well. It's a lot of fun. I can recommend it. So yeah, day one. Day one is about calorie counting, it seems. Santa's reindeer typically eat regular reindeer food, but they need a lot of magical energy to deliver presents on Christmas. For that, their favorite snack is a special type of star fruit that only grows deep in the jungle. The elves have brought you to their annual expedition to the grove where the fruit grows. To supply enough magical energy, the expedition needs to retrieve a minimum of 50 stars by December 25th. Although the elves assure you that the grove has plenty of fruit, you decide to grab any fruit you see along the way, just in case. Collect stars by solving puzzles. Two puzzles will be made available on each day in the Advent calendar. The second puzzle is unlocked when you complete the first. Each puzzle grants 1 star. Good luck. Let me see. Hey Morten, thanks for hanging out. I'm just reading the first challenge. Have you tried Advent of Code yet? It's really fun. I enjoy it. So let's see. The jungle must be too overgrown and difficult to navigate in vehicles or access from the air. The elves' expedition traditionally goes on foot. As your boats approach land, the elves begin taking inventory of their supplies. One important consideration is food, in particular the number of calories each elf is carrying, your puzzle input. So then you get a small example here. The elves take turns writing down the number of calories contained by the various meals, snacks, rations, etc. that they brought with them. 1 item per line. Each elf separates their own inventory from the previous elf's inventory, if any, by a blank line. For example, suppose the elves finish writing their items' calories and end up with the following list. So you see 1000, 2000, 3000, this is one inventory, then you have a blank line, so that's the next elf carries 1, that's 4000, blank, etc. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elves here that all have either 1, 2 or 3 items in their backpack. The list represents the calories of the food carried by the 5 elves. The first elf is carrying food with 1000, 2000 and 3000 calories, a total of 6000 calories. The second elf is carrying 1 food item with 4000 calories. The third elf is carrying food with 5 and 6000, a total of 11,000. The fourth is carrying 7, 8 and 9 for a total of 24,000 calories. And the fifth elf is carrying 1 food item with 10,000 calories. In case the elves get hungry and need extra snacks, they need to know which elf to ask. They'd like to know how many calories are being carried by the elf carrying the most calories. In the example above, this is 24,000. Find the elf carrying the most calories. How many total calories is that elf carrying? Okay, so yeah, this is really easy. So let's code this up. But yeah, that's to be expected of like the first day. It should be really easy. So if we go to the day 1 solution, part 1, I think it's called input for me here. Yeah, so this is a string. We do dot split by environment dot new line. No, it's actually a double new line. Let's see if this works. Inventories this console dot right line. We have no inventories. So let's just run this and see if that works. We have, haha, let me see, the length. It's an IEnumerable as we need to list. As you can see, it's been a while since I've done this, so I need to get familiar even with the own extensions that I wrote. Okay, so it's probably not the environment new line, but just Unix new lines. So we'll try this. And then we have 247 inventory. That's a lot. So let's set a breakpoint and look at them. Yeah, so here we can see all of them. So within them, we need to split them by new line again and then parse them as ints. So what we can do is select and I have extensions here to pass them as int32s, and they take in a string array. So if we do this and we do x.split and we do it by new line as int32s, and we can actually do this. So we can do another select, and we do a new object, and we can do let's say raw is x, sum is x.sum. We don't need to new this actually, we can just do it like this and do to list. Am I still in view actually with my code? Yeah, okay. I need to make sure that it doesn't overlap with the screen. So this declares a new value tuple, and then we do to list. So yeah, and then we can say console.writeLine most calories. So we can do biggest inventories order by descending sum first, and then we can say okay, so this will be the biggest sum contents, and then we can do string.join biggest raw. So like this we can dump out all the items that are in that match. So if we run it now, I needed to stop it again. Oh, an empty string. That's interesting. Let's go back to the code. Might there be an empty line at the end? Yes, there's an empty line at the end, so there might be an empty... So this will probably be have an empty entry at the end. So if we look at it here, that's interesting. There's no empty entry there. So why is it complaining? Let's split it up in parts and just debug this for a bit. It's always nice when you run into bugs right away. So yeah, let's see. So we have the inventory. Let's do that. Actually, we can do this. Let's just see what it spits out here if there's something unexpected. I wonder. Maybe there's some that doesn't have any entries. Let's see if that is the case. Set next statement. No, they all have entries. Okay, so this is weird. I'm a bit baffled by this because there should be no empty entries. Let's see. Var empty is raw. Let's see if it spits something out here. I have my breakpoint in the line. There's one entry. Wow. So there is one with a malformed ending where there's... that's interesting. I wonder where in the input it is. Let me see. I love these sidetracked. Let's see, advent of code, 2020, bin, debug, day 1. Okay, so here's the input. Ah yeah, so it is the final entry, it just adds an empty one there because it ends with the new line as a separator. So what I should probably do is split the input. So we do trim end. What is this? Let's see. Trim end, and then it should be fine. And maybe add some error handling to this one as well to just ignore that. So yeah, that was a bit of a sidetrack. So the one with the most calories has 74,711 calories. Let's submit that, and that's the right answer. So that's part 1. Pretty easy if I didn't account for the trimming in the end. So let's continue to part 2. By the end you calculate the answer to the else questions they've already realized that the elf carrying the most calories of food might eventually run out of snacks. To avoid this unacceptable situation, the elves would instead like to know the total calories carried by the top 3 elves carrying the most calories. That way, even if one of those elves runs out of snacks, they still have 2 backup. In the example above, the sum of the calories carried by the 3 elves is that. Find the top 3 elves carrying the most calories. How much are they carrying in total? Okay, so the second part here is really easy, and that's also because it's just the first day. So let me just align this first so that you can see the steps that are taken to process the input. So for part 2, basically we take part 1, and instead of doing this, we do take 3 dot sum actually we can do, let's do it differently. Let's do var top 3 is this, var sum is top 3 sum. So now we can do top, actually just sum, total calories, and then we can do top 3 0. And then we write out the contents of the top 3. So if you run it like this now, we see that the combined for the top 3 is this, and this is what it is in their backpacks. So there's actually one elf that just carried 76,000 in a single snack. Let me put that into the input. And that should be part 2 done. Yay! We completed it. So yeah, as you can see, it was a very easy challenge. I had the most difficulty debugging my own extension and making sure that it handles the input correctly. So yeah, I should probably fix that too, to make sure that I don't waste more time on that. But yeah, so this was part 1 or day 1 done. And after this there are 24 more days, and the challenge gets harder as time goes on. So yeah, I hope you like this. I will try to do this every day, and let me know if you did it yourself as well and if you had fun. So for now, I'll say goodbye and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.